To North Korea, and as tensions continue to rise there, today the aid agency concerned has announced that it is pulling its staff out of the country. Well, I'm joined now by two of very few Irish people who have ever been to Pyongyang. Both of them are high-level practitioners of Taekwondo, the martial art that originated in Korea. So Robert Howard Sr. and Francis Barrett, thank you both very much for coming in this morning. Robert, first off to you, you are one of only 9 ever Grand Masters in Taekwondo.
Yes. First European.
First European?
Yeah, yeah.
And that badge there that you're wearing?
That's a Grandmaster pin.
So only 9 of them in existence?
9, that's all, yeah.
And tell me, you were in Pyongyang yourself a couple of times.
Yeah, the first time I was there was 2002 for a funeral. The founder of Taekwondo died. And after 100 days, they have a celebration. Like here, they will have a month's mass. So they had to celebrate so we went over, that 4 of us.
Really? From Irish Taekwondo practitioners?
Yeah, yeah.
And what about yourself, Francis? You are a senior master.
Yes, and I went over there in 2011. And we went over there, like I said, for the World Championships in Pyongyang.
Yeah, this is the brochure you brought. You also brought back this badge, and it's probably too small for the camera to see, but tell me about this badge. Yeah, worth a try. But it's a picture of Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, he's everybody in North Korea wears this badge, and they speak of him as the great leader. They do not mention his name, they just say the great leader all the time.
Really?
And like I said, it took a lot to get that badge for us. And because there was 5 of us there, we were to be presented under a picture of Kim Jong-il by a Korean diplomat. But as it turned out, the diplomat couldn't make the meeting, so we were presented by our interpreter with those. So there's only 5 of those outside of North Korea.
And the North Koreans, they still speak of him as if he's still alive.
In the present.
Oh, great leader in the present, yeah. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, and what's it like as a country? I mean, we hear about shortages, we hear about difficulties, but for you two, what was your experience?
Well, the first time at 2002 was quite primitive. The hotel door wouldn't close, there was no hot water, the food was terrible, and you'd look out the window and you see truckloads of people on the back of trucks, as if they're going out potato picking, like you would see here 50 years ago. Yeah, but now it's completely different.
Really?
Food is great, you can see the hotel there, it's like Twin Towers. Big bridge in the middle.
Yeah, see that? I don't know. Will I try this one, JJ? That's the hotel that... you both stayed in this hotel with the 2 towers, yeah?
On the 18th floor.
And, I mean, is that just for foreigners who are visiting, or would actual
It's
citizens
more diplomatic, we say the average person, because like I said, you cannot go there as a tourist.
Yeah.
You must be invited to the country, so... Like I said, when you're invited as a VIP there, then you're hosted in one of these famous places.
So you'd wonder, are you getting any real experience of life in North Korea? What do you think?
Yeah, but when you go to the terminal, you go up, there's 29 buses for the terminal, right? And you'd look out and you see young girls holding their umbrella against the morning sun, guys going up and down in business suits, people with shopping bags, people waiting on bus, all look very natural. But the choreograph there is unbelievable. It's like maybe watching a film.
Yeah.
Being made, if you know what I mean. As it was all kind of organised. How true that is, I don't know. But that's what it felt like to me.
Really? It didn't feel real to you? So you were under watch the whole time you were there?
Oh, yeah, well, you couldn't leave the hotel. And each country would have a minder. Now, if it was a big entourage, like maybe Russia, they might have 3 or 4 minders. But one of the days I said, I'm not going back to the tournament after lunch. He said, you can't leave the hotel, he says. So I'm going to have a sleep, he says. But at night now, everything is in darkness except the hotel. Really?
Yeah. And I mean... One of only 9 Taekwondo practitioners at your level. Were you treated like a superstar over there? How did the people react to you?
Well, all our own guys were very respectful, and all the other Europeans. But now the Korean guys would always bow anyway. And they don't speak English, very few of them, except the guys who are minors. They'd be very good with English. And then some of them would be studying engineering or architecture. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of the places, the last time, we went to this place like a business park, and each building had a different sport, and they trained in these buildings. Fantastic. You know, our business parks, something like that, all the buildings are full, different sports.
Would you recommend it, Francis?
Yes, after my visit, yes. But on hearing the first visit that they done in 2002, I was very apprehensive about going there. And I stocked up on chocolates and all that at the airport to make sure I wasn't going to starve when I got there. So when I did eventually get there, like I said, it was just... you think you're in any country in the world.
Well, you're certainly watching all this ratcheting up of tensions with very different prism to the rest of us.
One of the things on the bus, the map return, this English guy had his camera, taking photographs, right? And the miner come up and took his camera out and went to and deleted 3 or 4 of the shots. Yeah, I visited the where Kim Il Sung was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took a few photographs of that in different places, and he bring you to arts and crafts and the usual stuff. But you wouldn't see anything outside that. You might see a platoon of soldiers running up and down on manoeuvres. That's as much as you would see of the army.
Of the military. Yeah, I suppose it's quite different to the moment. Well, you would think.
One story about a shovel. What's that shovel?
The workers, while we're going along on the bus, I see 3 workers on 1 shovel.
What?
It's one person had the shovel,
yeah,
and there was a rope leading from the shovel out to the other 2. So he would stick in the shovel, and the other 2 people would pull it, and then down it goes. It was brilliant. It was fantastic watching. It was like a JCB digger working, but it was human.
Terrific innovation.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
Well, listen, thank you both very much indeed for coming in this morning. It's been really interesting talking to you, and congratulations on the big status you've achieved in the sport.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Now, time for the rest of the sports news, if you like. Joe is here.
Thanks, good morning.